What's up, everybody? This is Dominic DeAngelo of OneTrueSportTV.com. I'm a dirt sheet writer. I have other shows I do with Rob Van Dam.
That's
Somebody
my
that
boy,
that's
RVD.
his
Daddy
boy.
leads the whole effing podcast.
Boom, the whole effing show. And I am here with the whole effing ref, the whole
Hey,
effing
Daddy.
manager. It's Fonzie, Bill Alfonso. He is back. We had a couple months off, I think it's been. But Fonzie, it's good to see you again, man.
Oh, yeah, well, a couple months off because we've been fighting hurricanes down here, Daddy.
Yeah, holy smokes. Yeah, you guys have had your fair share of it, from Hurricane Helen to then Hurricane Milton that was hitting you guys smack
Right.
dab in Tampa.
Guesstimation over $50 billion in damages within 20 miles of me.
Over 50 billion.
Yeah. Yep, that's what the president said, and that's just a guesstimate. It's going to take probably a decade for us to get back on track and the new buildings. We lost a lot of stuff here in Florida, but, we pulled through. We're in Florida, so, that's the price you got to pay to live in paradise.
That's it, man. I mean, I love Tampa. It's like when I went down there for Royal Rumble, the atmosphere is there. It's kind of almost, it felt like a southern Pittsburgh in a way, like a nicer, with nice weather, and that just the kind of communal vibe I was really getting from it. It was,
Yeah, we got everything. Tampa's got us going on. Look, we got pro football, we got a baseball team, we got a hockey team that's very content.
very good.
Basketball, 40 miles down the road in Orlando. We got everything. Great weather, fishing, beaches. Fonzie lives here. We got a lot of the boys who live here. Hulk Hogan's got his shop. He has karaoke on Monday nights, and it's fantastic, man. We're living in paradise down here. So I'm inviting you, Dominic, to come down and spend a couple of days here at my villa. Christine loves you, so do I, Daddy. And
I love
thanks
you
for
guys.
all the
I love
things
you.
you do. Thanks for all the things you do, Dominic, in professional wrestling. You love it just like I do.
Absolutely.
You love the
Absolutely.
business. You love the business, and it shows. And you're great at what you do. And we really appreciate you. Not only me and the wrestlers, all the fans appreciate you from all over the world.
Thank you, Fonzie. It really means a lot coming from you. Yeah, I love doing what I'm doing. I feel blessed to be doing what I'm doing, and it's a real honor, like being able to talk to you guys and kind of get the word out further about the business and share some great stories and some great memories and appreciate the legacy of wrestlers that have gone by and ones that are still here with us too, and just appreciate everybody that has really contributed to the business and made us become fans and what we love about the sport. So it's an honor to be doing this with you, Fonzie. I really appreciate it as well.
Well, thanks, Dominic. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Dominic.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, is my forehead shiny, Daddy? Because I got to look good for my people.
I think you look pretty good. I don't think you're shiny. I think
All right. I got my makeup right here. My makeup artist. She's busy watching the elections.
I know. What a madhouse
tonight. Big night tonight.
Big night tonight. I know we're the distraction tonight for you folks.
Oh yeah, I'll give you some distraction, get you away from all that crazy stuff. But it's happening. But so is wrestling, so is pro wrestling. We got a lot of shows coming up. There's a lot of cool stuff coming up, man. And I can't wait for WrestleMania. It's in Las Vegas this year.
I know. I'm excited too. I'm very excited. I love Las Vegas.
Me too.
And I love pro wrestling. It's like
I just got back from Vegas. Can I share you something I'm really proud of?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I was nominated and got inducted to the Hall of Fame, the Charlie Smith Referee Award. I'm really proud of this.
Look at that.
This is for my peers. It's not, this is for my peers. So it means a lot to me.
Absolutely.
And, I was there for 3 days and we had a fantastic time. Cauliflower Alley does a lot of work, a lot of good work, nonprofit. And we help wrestlers in need, and much more than that. Much more than that. It's been going on over 58 years, and I am super proud to be a part of that.
Oh my gosh. I know. I think we talked about it on here before too, was like Cauliflower Alley Club is such a cool organization where it's like it brings a lot of the luminaries together, current wrestlers that are active come and show up too and pay their respects to a lot of you guys. And it is a very the communal vibe of it all is really, really special, I think. And it's like the work that they're able to do and help out in what ways they can is really special. And B. Brian Blair does a great job.
Oh,
running
Brian's
the
the
show.
best. Brian's the best. He's been a friend of mine for over 4 decades.
Yes, yeah, I love him. He was a very nice person. I got to meet him for the first time there, and it is a great experience. If you guys haven't had the chance to go do that, all you have to do is become a member for a year. Sign up for an annual membership. I think I paid like $39 or something like that,
Well,
and
it's
then
very inexpensive. It's very
it's not
expensive.
expensive at all. And then you get an automatic invite to go to this. All you have to do is pay for your flight coverage and your hotel expenses, whatever it may be. Make an experience out of it, and you get to see the Hall of Fame and or the Hall of Fame ceremony inductions and all that kind of stuff, the reunion inductions and awards and everything like that. And it's a
Yeah, there's
really,
a 3-day event. We all stay at the wonderful Plaza Hotel,
yeah,
full-fledged casino. We're right on the strip. Fremont Street is fantastic, man. And
yeah,
food's excellent. Yeah, we had I forget the name of the place, but man, it was a 5-star prime rib dinner, man. Just beautiful.
man, yeah, it's
Just
fantastic.
beautiful. The food's fantastic.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I got to hang out with RVD.
that's right. We got to party with RVD. We saw
Oh
Sabu
yeah.
there.
Oh yeah.
It was a good time. The nerd bar we went to. If you guys get a chance to go to
Oh
Vegas,
yeah, the Nerd Bar, very
go to the nerd.
famous. Everyone
Yeah,
loves that place. So does RVD.
it was awesome. I love it. I know there's some plans in place for me to be a part of stuff at the nerd bar WrestleMania weekend too. So should
Oh,
be,
great,
yeah.
great,
Mm-hmm. Should be
great.
some fun stuff.
I think
Um,
I may be going in for Woo. It's a wrestling video game, and I'm on the game, and they sponsored me last year or last WrestleMania that was in Philadelphia. So I
yeah,
may be going for them. I'm not sure. I'm not sure,
Ultra
but
Pro
I would
Wrestling, right?
definitely be there. Yeah, oh, yeah.
That's it. Yeah, right before us, Arn Anderson recorded live with Paul Bromwell on One True Sport, and I know he's a part of the game too. Ultra Pro Wrestling, you guys got to check it out if you're a fan. And I grew up a fan of this video game, WCW, NWO Revenge, and No Mercy. It's built that system. So if you guys are fans of that, it's got all these cool legends. Fonzie's in it, Sabu's in it, Sandman's in it, Blue Meanie's in it. Raven and the Flocker in it. There's Arn Anderson. The list goes Magnum TA. So many great names. So you guys got to check it out. Be sure to keep your tabs on that. They're doing some wonderful, fun work. Should be exciting for video gamers and brings you back to that classic kind of games that I know I grew up as a huge fan of. So and Fonzie's, I'm excited to be Fonzie on
Oh,
that.
I'm super excited. Hey, we just walked into my office. Can I show you some
Yeah,
cool
show us
stuff?
around, Fonzie. You got a great setup in there. So let's see what you got over
Oh
here.
yeah, 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 yeah. And I just got some new jackets, and of course, I'm famous for the ECW jackets and much more. Um, Take a look at this stuff here. This beautiful jacket. Oh,
Oh,
this is
look at
my
that.
hat. Yeah, one sport,
Hell
baby.
yeah, that's the hat. You can get that. Look at, oh man, I gotta get me one of those now, Fonzie. That looks great.
I know it. I got the shirt that matches it right here, baby.
Heck yeah, you can get the T-shirt there too. Oh man, yeah, and back on the back, right down the middle. So you can get that right now at 1tssport.com. Go there. You can get the merch. Some good stuff there. There's also like a classic NWA tee that is Fonzie themed as well. So
Oh yeah, and hey, I'm not here to push my merchandise, but I do got some cool merchandise, and I'm not hard to get a hold of. Anybody interested in some very cool ECW paraphernalia? We got it all, Daddy. Check
yeah.
these nice. I just got these jackets in. Speaking of Sandman,
Ooh.
nice leather jacket, beautiful.
Whoa. Man, look at that.
Yeah, it's badass.
Holy
Uh,
shit. That's fantastic.
yeah, really nice stuff. Um, And what else I got here? I'm just going to show you some pictures. That's WrestleMania 9, Giant Gonzalez against The Undertaker. Can you see that?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is my backstage Caesar's Palace pass. And of course, it's Giant Gonzalez. And let's see who you guys are. Oh, how about this one? Young Barry Windham. This is 1982 and Ric Flair
Wow.
uh, in a match, and of course I'm refereeing. There's my boy Andre the Giant,
Hell yeah.
who stepped on my foot in 1981, and it still hurts today.
It still hurts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's the late Kevin Sullivan, who we just lost a few months ago. God bless him. I've known him for over 4 decades. A really good friend of mine.
Yep.
Uh, and here's the cover of the magazine. Speaking of Dusty, I think we're going to talk about Dusty a little bit today.
Yeah, we're
With
gonna
my
talk
boy
about Leslie Clark.
Dusty.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a cover. I've on so many covers of magazines. It's really cool. There's Fonzie and Giant Gonzalez at the Tokyo Dome, 65,000 people, and made the cover of the largest sports magazine in Japan, which is
Oh,
pretty
Fonzie, your
cool.
thumb's in the way. Your thumb's in the way. There you
Okay,
go.
sorry about that.
That's okay. Oh, now we see it. You're good.
Yeah, yeah, that's a pretty cool picture to be on the cover. I'm flattered. Very cool. There's my tag team guys.
Oh, can't beat those
Let's
guys.
see. There's a manager of champions.
Look
There's
at that.
Taz, RVD, Sabu. Oh, I just did a tour with these guys. We went on a 4-day tour with Guerrero, Fonzie, Sabu, Sandman, Francine, Eyes Up Here, Shane Douglas. Uh, uh, one of the best big men in the business, Bam
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 Bam.
Bigelow. That was in Tokyo too. That was
Damn.
at Sumo Palace
No way.
in
That's awesome.
Tokyo. Yeah, yeah. And you guys heard of the famous Rivera Steakhouse
Yeah, heck yeah.
in Tokyo? There we are. There's Shane, Fonzie, Sabu, Tommy Dreamer, and the two Dudley boys. And they give us all jackets, and we go there and have a hell of a steak.
Man.
Uh, we got all kind of awards. This is pretty cool. You know, that means a lot to me because it's coming from my peers.
Right.
And I'm full of stuff, full of new jackets and stuff. The ECW jackets. Oh, this one you would think it would hurt, but this is a Sean Combs Diddy. You know, he's in a lot of trouble right
He's
now.
in a lot of trouble.
Right. And I said,
Yeah.
well, I got a couple of jackets, jean jacket type, that I bought and did the ECW jackets. I thought it would be a downfall for me to have these jackets, but they're flying off the shelves. They want them.
Hey,
They
there you
want,
go.
any paraphernalia from Diddy is a big seller right now. I don't know why. I can't figure it
Damn.
out.
You right?
He's under all the molestation charges and all that bullshit, but anyway, so I got those. I got, some pretty cool stuff. I'm selling some. I'm not selling some. I got some ECW belts for sale, which is pretty cool. Uh, got the Fonzie action figure, my little
The
fluffy.
wrestling buddy.
I don't know what the fuck you call it, but there they are.
Yeah, the wrestling buddy thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got a few left.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a few left. What else can I show you? Damn, my whistle. Hey, look, I bought 1,000 of these this year.
Uh-huh.
I sold 700 of them and gave 300 away. Uh,
Those are
um,
awesome.
yeah, pretty cool. Something. I'm the
Yeah.
only guy in the business that blows a whistle, so I have no competition on those.
That's it. You got the
You
market
know,
covered.
yeah. Let's see what else I can show you. The ECW hat, WCW Nitro hat, Florida Championship Wrestling, AIW, one of the companies I work for, CCW, another company I work for, who's doing fantastic, by the way. You guys remember the famous Bruiser Brody Lex Luger match in a cage?
Yeah, oh yeah,
You heard
absolutely.
about that? Of course, I was refereeing that. Pretty cool. Oh, there's my dear friend Harley Race, who gave me this belt. This is a replica of his belt, the one I'm holding up there. Somebody made it and gave it to Harley Race, and Harley said, "Fonzie, I want to give this to you since you refereed so many of my matches. This was a gift." I guess he didn't want it. He didn't want to carry it
Didn't
around
want to
or
carry it.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gifted it to me. I wouldn't sell that for $1 million,
That's awesome.
because Harley Race gave it to me.
Yeah. Can't
Here's a
beat that.
here's a pretty famous picture. I'm in negotiations with Starbucks right now, uh, because you can order a Fonzie small, medium Hulk Hogan, and a double X large coffee with Giant Gonzalez. This
Gonzalez, yeah.
picture this picture was taken on the set of Thunder in Paradise. You remember Hogan had a TV series for a couple years. Um, and that was taken on the set.
That was taken right there. Yeah, how about that?
Oh yeah, this is my boy Hulk Hogan, who's a dear friend of mine, and I love Hulk Hogan. He's badass. So that's all the new stuff I got to show you guys. Oh, and so I guess a very cool backpacks. I just
Backpacks
came
are
out.
sweet.
Very cool backpacks. All nice, all high dollar, beautiful.
Yes.
Uh, for your phone. It's
Oh, that's bad.
uh, and I only deal in really nice stuff. Like, look, Eddie Bowers, ECW long sleeve, fucking beautiful jacket. It's not a jacket actually. It's more like a long sleeve shirt. Beautiful. Some
Yeah.
hoodies, which is very cool. Anyway, that's my stuff. I'm gonna put this thing, my phone, on a stand and sit behind my desk, and we get down to
We
business.
get down to business. Man, Fonzie,
Start,
thanks for
start.
showing us around. That looks awesome. The setup is great. So much. Like even just seeing all the magazine covers and photos and stuff like that, it shows how well versed and well traveled you are in the wrestling business. And you can't
To
beat that.
to my left here, you can't see them, but I got a stack of magazines from Bill Apter, was a photographer, and so on. The magazines back in the day, that's how we got all the information. Now you can just punch something up online and you get all your information online. But
Yeah,
back then, you got all your information from the wrestling magazines.
that's it.
So these are from the 80s on up, and I'm in every magazine. There's several different magazines, and I'm in every one of them. Somebody brings them to me, or I've been collecting them for the last 40 years, so that's pretty cool. So I got a lot of stuff like that. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me okay there,
A
Daddy?
okay. A okay.
Okay, we're going raw tonight, Daddy.
That's it. That's it. Guys, if you have questions, feel free to use the super chat that is available on OneTrueSportTV.com or the RVDTV.com. We're live on both channels and we're live on RVD's Twitter. So be sure to give us a shout out. We have a couple of good questions already coming in.
Yeah, if anybody's interested in any of the merchandise, especially the jackets and backpacks, they are available tonight.
Yes,
They're
yes.
available tonight. Just tell me what you want. I'll show it to you, and we'll make a deal on it. And I'd say let's go um, 25% off tonight.
25% off.
The jackets go for about $200.
Okay.
Let's go. Any jacket, 150 tonight.
150. Any jacket, 150.
Yeah. And
Okay.
all name brand jackets, beautiful, all quality from Eddie Bowers to, just really nice stuff. Really nice stuff.
Brian, I see you're asking where do you find the jackets online. So just message us. So if you're interested in a jacket or anything like that, you can message in the chat here, and we can exchange some information and get you in contact with Fonzie so he can get you a jacket if you're interested.
Yeah. But I'll ship them
Um,
right to you. These are my personal jackets that I buy and make and sell, and you get them from me. Plus, I usually throw in a few 8x10s. I mean, RVD and Sabu, and I got 7 or 8, 9 or 10, 12 different baseball type Fonzie cards,
yeah,
uh, which are really cool. I usually, if somebody buys a jacket, I make them a little package, no
yeah,
extra charge, and it makes me
that's
feel
awesome.
good giving stuff away.
Some
Love giving stuff away.
added bonus stuff. And Liam Evans, well, we see you in there too. Good to see you back in here. We're trying to work out the logistics of getting you some of that what you won. So we're gonna work out something. Me and Fonzie, we're gonna try to think of something here. So and we'll be in contact with you about it too. So it's good to see you in the chat and in the group too. So
Yeah. Hey, here's an example. When we started for doing a podcast, I gave we had a contest. You can enter the contest and win one of these jackets.
yep,
So Maddie, who's a big superstar wrestling fan who loves the wrestling business, won the jacket. He lives in Australia. It's all packaged up, ready to go for him. He won the contest, and there it is, Maddie. We're gonna give it to you sooner or later.
yep, Maddie, we'll get you that stuff. And Liam, we also see your stuff too. Yeah, Fonzie ever get to send the 8x10 and trading cards? So not yet. I'll get your information to Fonzie too, and so we can get that.
Yeah, get it to me, and I'll get them out tomorrow.
Okay, we'll get it out tomorrow for you.
I just didn't have the information.
Okay, I know Liam is based out of I think the UK. So I'll let you know.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So I'll keep you posted on.
Speaking of the UK, I did a 7 cities 5 countries in 7 days. The main event was Yokozuna against Hulk Hogan. We sold out. We were in London. Uh, 2 shows in England, 2 shows in Germany, France, Scotland. Also, it was pretty cool. So I love that area of the world.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I want to go. I've never been overseas or anything like that, so that's on my bucket list for sure to check that stuff out. Um, how was it working with Yokozuna, Fonzie?
For He was another one of my favorite big men. He was huge when I was working with him. I guess it was 92, 93, 94 in WWF. It was WWF, not WWE yet. He was light on his feet for as big as he was, man. He was fantastic in the ring. Fantastic. My God. He was a funny guy. Work was real serious. He was a great champion. God bless him. And we lost him young. But, I got a chance to work with him for a few years, and I cherish those times. He was great in the ring and out of the ring.
Oh,
Yokozuna, badass.
absolutely, he was 100%. He was. It's a shame we lost him, and he was so talented and athletic for being the size that he was and everything like that. And it
Absolutely.
speaks to that Samoan family too. That the lineage that goes with that, from The Rock to Roman Reigns to now Jacob Fatu to the Usos.
Right.
Man, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. So man, just quite the legacy.
Yeah, and I got to work with those guys starting in the 80s from, oh, yeah, man. The Samoan guys were badass.
Oh, 100%, man. Um, guys, let's see here. So we have a couple of cool questions already in here.
Okay.
Matthew Rodriguez asks, "Hey Fonzie, I'm going to Barcelona in March because SmackDown is going to Barcelona for the
Oh,
first TV
nice.
show in Spain history." Yeah, what are your thoughts? You were just in Barcelona, were you? Or am I
I was
mistaken?
just in Barcelona,
Yeah.
I'd say less than 2 months ago. Uh, my wife and I got a tall, beautiful, blonde Hungarian wife. She is absolutely gorgeous. Her and I went on a vacation, and we flew from Tampa to Zurich, Switzerland, jumped on another plane, flew into Barcelona, and spent a couple of days there. My God, it was great. Loved the food. The city was fantastic. I would have been happy just going to Barcelona, but we ended up going to multiple different countries, Italy, and so on. We had a great time, but Barcelona was a freaking beautiful place, man.
Oh,
Beautiful. Different culture, laid back, slower. We're in such a rat race in the United States. We move constantly, but uh, get ready to lower your gear about 4 or 5%. It's a little bit slower, which is fantastic. Fantastic. The food's unbelievable.
oh, I believe that. I believe that. That's pretty awesome. And
And
then
the
we have
women are beautiful. The women are beautiful.
right, man. That's another added incentive to go. Um, Hey, and then Brian Wazinski asked, "What's your favorite memories of Buffalo, New York, Fonzie? Did you have some memories from
Oh, the
Buffalo?"
Burt Flickinger Center. My God, Burt Flickinger Center, man. Buffalo's freaking was a great town for ECW. And we did some shows there, but for WWF back in the day. But ECW at the Burt Flickinger Center in Buffalo, we sold that building out time after time. The people were on fire. The really hardcore wrestling people up there. Um, and the nation is based on hardworking people, and Buffalo is one of those hardcore, uh, true American places to live. I love Buffalo. It's cold as hell up there in the
It
winter,
is.
but it's certainly beautiful. And let's see, the name of the hot dog place I used to love. I think it was called Reed's. It's like the Coney Island hot dog place. Oh, I love Reed's. Uh, so I got a lot of good memories. I had some family members that lived in Medina, which was about 30 miles outside of Buffalo. So I'd go up and see them, especially when we ran the Burt Flickinger Center. I'd go up a day early and leave a day late and hang out with my sister lived up there. She's down here now in Tampa, but uh, so Buffalo was badass, man. Burt Flickinger Center, love it,
Oh,
love it. I
I'm look-
think that's where RVD won the TV title from Bam Bam Bigelow and we held it. We held the title for 2 years, 4 months, 27 days. Uh, so Buffalo's got a place in my heart. Love Buffalo.
Well, so this is a question that we talked about a couple times with I've talked with Rob on there
Okay.
on it. And I want to get your perspective on it too. Rob was talking about how, he really how that ECW title meant so much to him and how he kind of like established that and made that almost the title to compete for. And then he wanted it to ultimately culminate with him versus Mike Awesome, who was the ECW champion at the time. And it just never happened because like Mike Awesome left and Rob got injured and there are a lot of different aspects coming into play and it just never happened. How great would that match have been for them to go one-on-one and with maybe both titles on the line at that aspect too going? It would have been
Well,
really,
I
really
think Van Damme likes competition, and Mike Awesome was definitely top tier competition. He was badass. He was huge. He was a big guy, and he can work his ass off. And Van Damme thrived on that. Van Damme thrived on competition. So yeah, Mike was a lot to handle in that ring, but that would have been. I think it would have sold out arenas all over the country, ECW style. It's a shame we never got to see. I think they worked together once or twice, or we had a little angle or something, but it never took off. We never had the opportunity, and of course, we lost Mike Awesome early. Uh, but damn it, that would have been fantastic for the wrestling fans, for us. The boys wanted to see it. We wanted to see Mike Awesome and Van Dam go.
I know, and it's so cool to hear. I liked Mike Awesome a lot as a kid, and but I never like knew too much about who he was as a person or anything like that. And hearing Rob talk about him on the show, he talks about like just how cool and fun he was to be around as a friend, but also talked about like how much he loved his kids. Like he was just a good, like loved his kids so much, and he said that was a huge aspect of his life. And it's just yeah, it's a shame we lost him, the way we did. And I just really appreciate who he was, and I definitely miss him in the wrestling world.
Well said, Dominic. And people forget that uh, we're characters and we're wrestlers and we're in the ring, and that's what they think of us. But you got to remember, we're humans too. We're family guys. We got kids. We got a wife. We got a house. We got a mortgage payment. We got car payments. You got a mother and father and grandparents and Thanksgiving. And uh, Mike Carlson was a great example of a great family guy. And how much we traveled back then. We were, not so much in ECW. We worked Friday and Saturdays, but in other companies like WCW and WWF, we would work 300 days a year. 7 to 10 days off, three on, and 3 days off. And it was week after week, month after month, year after year. We were on the road, and still to have a good environment at home, it's pretty tough on the family because we're on the road so much. But Mike was a great example of how to handle his business, and he did.
Oh
And
man,
you're right, we miss him. He died too young.
miss him way, way so much. And you know what's cool is remember the first ECW one night stand that WWE put on, and the show stealer was Mike Awesome versus Masato Tanaka. It's like people talk
Oh,
about that match all the time, and it's
wow.
man, just a real ass kicker of a match.
Yeah, if you guys got a chance, Google that and you can watch it, or go on Spike. Is it Spike TV?
It's it's now you can check it out on the Peacock network. I'm sure
Oh,
you can.
Peacock. Yeah,
Yep.
Peacock. You can
Mhm.
watch. I think ECW did 22 or 23 pay-per-views, and I was on all of them but one. I think I missed the last one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I missed the last one because the company was kind of not falling apart, but was changing. Vince was
Yeah.
buying and so on and so on. And uh, but yeah, Joe, you can watch a lot of stuff on that TV that you just talked about.
Absolutely. Brian, who asked the Buffalo question, I think he said this might have been the place you were thinking of. Is it Louis? Was Louis the hot dog
Oh,
place?
yeah, Luis.
Louis. There we go. Brian knew it.
Yep. Thanks,
Yep.
Brian.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yeah.
If I ever
Um,
get to Buffalo, I'm going to call your ass and have you take me to Louis for a couple hot dogs, Daddy.
get some
Love
hot
the Cold
dogs.
Islands.
I fucking love Buffalo. So I'm from Pittsburgh, but
Yeah.
as a kid, I was up in Pennsylvania. I lived in the middle of nowhere, but we would go Christmas shopping in Buffalo. Buffalo was the big spot for us.
What?
Buffalo and Erie, PA. So I
Oh,
love
here,
Buffalo
yeah.
too. So good stuff. Ken has an interesting question here. I'm curious
Ken?
about this too.
Is
Ken,
it
here we
Ken?
go.
Hey,
Ken,
Ken,
yep.
Daddy. Hey, Daddy. Ken, thanks for the question, brother. Let me see if I can answer it. Let me try to give you a good answer.
All right. So he says, "Hi Fonzie, do you take bookings to ref indie shows, or are you tired from being a ref? Would you take
No, no,
bookings?"
no, no. Absolutely, I do. Ken, I work every weekend somewhere in the United States. Every weekend, I love it. I try to retire, but the business pulled me right back in. You know that famous line with the
Yep,
Godfather,
the
whatever.
mafia.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But anyway, no, I work matches. I still ref a special occasion to show people promotions bring me in. This weekend I'm in working for CCW in let's see, Kissimmee Friday and then Tampa Saturday. The following weekend, I'm in Cleveland. The following weekend, I'm in Washington, D.C. or the Baltimore area working for AWA. So I got a lot of stuff going on. So, yes, absolutely. I do work for different companies in some capacity. They can bring me in to manage one of their stars, or they're bringing me in to referee a special match, or they bring me in for an autograph meet and greet or something. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. If you want, leave your number with Dominic, and I'll call you and see if we can make something happen.
There you go. If you're looking for somebody, yeah, feel free to shoot me a DM. Go to me on Twitter at Dominic DeAngelo. You can shoot me a DM. They are open. So, and if anybody has questions when it comes to Fonzie or RVD or anybody, feel free to message me on Twitter, and I will get back to you.
Yeah, can yeah, get a hold of them. What you have in mind, and what part of the country are you guys talking about?
Yeah, exactly. That's a
Where,
give us some info if that's what you're interested, or if you're just asking the question if you would ref, that's pretty cool too. So just let us know. What else did I want to cover on here? I thought I saw some pretty cool comments. Um, oh yeah, Stephen Kemp, he adds to it. You have some awesome merchandise, Fonzie. Might be
thanks,
interesting.
Steve.
So how about that? Nice job, Steve. Yeah. Thanks for chiming in. Cool. Well, Fonzie, what I did want to cover a little bit was Dusty Rhodes. Obviously, he'll be an ongoing topic when we do the shows and everything because he was such an influential part of your career and
He certainly
everything.
was.
But I, let's just start off with this. I'd imagine you grew up a fan of Dusty before you got into business, huh?
Well, my dad, God bless him, my dear old dad, came home. He was friends with the sports editor. I think I've told this story. I'll make it quick though. He was having lunch with the sports editor of the Tampa newspaper, and Florida Championship Wrestling used to put an ad in their newspaper. Who's going to wrestle Tuesday night at for Homer Instantly Armory? And so my dad was having lunch, and they comped the sports editor a couple of tickets for putting the ad in the newspaper. So my dad came home. I was 12 years old. Came home with two comp tickets for professional wrestling, Florida Championship Wrestling. So I never heard of wrestling. He says, "Hey, Billy," my dad called me Billy. He said, "Billy, I got tickets for wrestling." I said, "Wrestling? What's that? Never heard of it." So curiosity got me, and I used the tickets and went to the armory, and there was Bobby Shane and Eddie Grant with the blonde hair, and Bobo Brazil, and Jack and Gerald Briscoe, and all these guys. And I fell in love with the business. My God, I didn't know I was in the hotbed of professional wrestling was in Florida. You know, there's territories all over. Back then, it was territories. Florida was a territory. Mid-Atlantic was Jim Crockett a territory. Texas, there was multiple territories just in Texas. Joe Blanchard had San Antonio, and Paul Bosch ran Houston. The Von Erichs ran the Dallas area, and the Funks ran Amarillo in the northern Texas. Uh, Bill Watts had, Louisiana, and Kansas City was Harley Race, and so on. So, uh, um, so I fell in love with the business, and I used to watch the questions about Dusty. And Dusty, man, I when I started going, my dad got me. It was only $3 to get into wrestling back then, you
Wow.
know. Uh, so I used to ask my dad, "Hey, can you get the comp tickets for it?" So my dad got me comp tickets, and if I had to pay, I'd cut the lady's grass on the corner and make my $3 and pay for my ticket. But and there was Dusty Rose, man. I was 12, 13, 14 years old watching American Dream, Dusty Rose, him and Dick Murdoch, Dirty Dick Murdoch, where the Dusty was a heel back then, was a bad guy.
Yeah.
And then when you turn babyface, oh my God, he was the biggest babyface in the country. Uh, and then as time goes by, I, start meeting the wrestlers and so on. And they say, "Hey, Fonzie, would you mind going to pick up some sandwiches? Or can you pick up King Curtis at the airport? Can you drop Mark Lewin off at the place? Can you give us a ride here? Can you do that?" So I start uh, meeting the wrestlers and doing things for them. Rocky Johnson, The Rock's dad,
Yeah.
beautiful boy, landing on his feet, Rocky Johnson, and he helped me break into the business. He helped me break into the business. Uh,
Wow.
and Dusty gave me my first job in May of 1980. Dusty hired me, Florida Championship Wrestling, and I ended up staying there for until it closed down, until the territories start closing down, and WCW and Vince McMahon were taking over. The two big networks. Monday Night Raw, and so. Hey, I was on the first Monday Night Raw ever.
Were you really?
Yeah, I
We'll have
certainly
to make an
was.
episode of that. We'll do an episode
Yeah,
of that. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
good one. Yeah.
Uh, I did a lot of first things, and that's the longest reigning consistent television show in the history of TV. There's no. Can you name one show that's been consistent? For
The only
that's
thing I can think is like Young and the Restless, soap opera.
soap opera. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They may be the only consistent ones, but man, and I got lucky, and then I went to Japan. They brought me to Japan to referee the famous Fujinami and Ric Flair and Tokyo Dome, 65,000 people. In fact, here's the cover of the magazine right here.
Yeah.
Uh, Made the cover, and that's one of the matches was Giant Gonzalez against Curtis Hughes. You guys remember Curtis Hughes,
Oh
a big
yeah.
black kid who can work his ass off, badass.
Yep.
Uh, and then I refereed I refereed two matches, John Gonzalez and Curtis Hughes, and I refereed the main event, and uh, Ric Flair and Fujinami, 65,000 people, and the finish was a little controversial and so on and so on. I did a great job. And Dusty said, this was before my contract with WCW. Dusty said, "Hey, Fonzie, baby, it's going to happen for you. It's going to happen for you, baby. I'm going to have Jody Hamilton call you Monday." And sure enough, my phone rang, and it was Jody Hamilton. He said, "Hey, Dusty wanted me to call you and give you some dates." So gave me some dates, and went and signed a contract with WCW. Ted Turner. My check said Turner Home Entertainment. Boom, got to check this freaking big every freaking They paid you bi-weekly, uh, and it was great. And Dusty was very instrumental in my career, and for some reason he liked me because I was good at what I did.
Yeah.
And
And
you got to remember the heels and baby faces, the bad guys and good guys, wouldn't see each other until they got into the ring. Because they got dressed in different dressing rooms. It was really protected back then. I mean, not now we all get dressed in the same dressing room and all that, but back then, man, it was really secret. Boy, if you got caught, I give you an example. It was damn it. Anyway, top bad guy and a baby face was out fishing in the bay in Tampa Bay fishing. They were working against each other. And Eddie Graham lived on the bay, and he drove up in his boat and seen the two guys went over there and started chatting with him. Uh, and he fired the one guy. He didn't
Wow.
want. There was nobody that could see these guys. They were in the middle of the bay in the boat fishing, and Eddie Graham fired the guy because he shouldn't have been in the boat with the guy he's working an angle with in wrestling.
Wow,
Well, really kayfabe back then,
man.
really super.
Well,
So,
that's what a different time period and everything. It's
oh
like,
my goodness, yeah,
man. Well, so I interviewed Bret Hart earlier today.
I love Bret Hart.
Me too. Oh man, he told some great stories. We covered. Do you know who Leo Burke is? Do you remember Leo
Yes,
Burke?
yeah, Leo
Yes.
Burke, yeah.
So that's what I talked to him about primarily was the legacy of Leo Burke and what he did. And Bret loved Leo Burke and the work that he did and how much he helped people. Ring psychology, who he's really big into. But Bret happened to talk about too what you were saying, like how he kind of got his start was like he would have to go in between the heel and babyface locker rooms and relay messages about how they were going to work a match together. So
Right.
like Bret was saying, like Leo would tell him, hey, tell this guy who I'm working with that this is what I want to have happen in the match and stuff like that. And then Bret would go and run and tell the heel in the opposite locker room about it. And he was saying like how, like when he would tell what Leo had planned, like the heel's face would light up, like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense, like that kind of thing. And Bret said that's how he learned a lot of the business. It's just a really so, but that dynamic, everybody's separated from one another. It's like it was so far apart. So like you really had to adhere to that stuff. So it makes
Same
sense
thing
that
I
would
just
be like,
told you about. Same thing I just told you about. The referee, me, would have to carry the finishes over from one dressing room to the other. The guys didn't see each other until they locked up in the ring. You
yeah.
know, and
Mm-hmm.
I would take a few spots over, but now, and then now, and this is how the business progressed and so on. This it is what it is. Now the two young wrestlers we're all in the same dressing room. They talk for a half hour to exactly what they're gonna do about the match. So
Yeah,
and
no.
that's why I admire Bret Hart because he's old school like me. And Leo Burke was like from Bret Hart's dad's era.
Yes,
You know,
exactly. Like Leo Burke, he was saying starting like about 66. And he said the funny story is like he came into the territory. I don't know if it might have been Stampede. I think it was. He came in as Batman, like he had a Batman gimmick, and like
ah,
Bret was like enthralled by it because he loved Batman and stuff like that. But like he got jobbed out, like Leo got jobbed out as Batman, and he gave up the gimmick, and then so he gave him a hard time about being Batman. But like
I love it.
they started working together and everything like that. And Bret talked about how much he learned from Leo Burke, and like it made you think about like how a lot of these guys, that maybe didn't get the prominence in a WWE or an ECW or a WCW or anything like that, like how much like they influenced the business. Like he was saying how much Leo Burke trained guys, not just help with Bret Hart, but help with
Right.
guys like Edge, Christian, Ken Shamrock, Mark Henry, like really Hall of Fame names there. And it's just really neat to see Fonzie. I was really appreciative of the interview, and I'm happy that I can like kind of get some of the names out about those guys.
I think
So
that's why Brett and I got along real well because he knew I was old school and worked in the territories and worked with Eddie Graham and Dusty and Gordon Soley and all those guys. So he knew how it was back then. So he had a lot of respect for me and vice versa.
absolutely, absolutely, it's cool to have that legacy and that connection with everybody. It's
Yes.
uh and like wrestling is such an aspect where it's like I was talking to Rob about this, was how you'd see somebody for a little bit and then you'd go away. They would go away, maybe they'll leave the area or they leave the promotion, and but soon enough your paths would cross again. It would be like you never left one another, like that kind of aspect.
Exactly. We
Mhm.
form a bond like you may not see somebody for years, and like you never left. Exactly to what you just said. Yeah, we're family orientated, and the business was so secretive back then, man. It was so hard. It was so hard to break in the wrestling business. Oh my goodness, you
Yeah,
know.
right. and like you had the journey yourself where like you and Dave had to pretend that you were his brother, and you
Right.
brought him in as he brought you in as a referee, and then that's how you get in. But it's like such a difficult business to break through, and
Oh yeah.
my goodness, it's like, kind of hush hush, like this is how you get in, and it's like hard to break
Yeah.
through. Hmm.
And you just met the Cuban in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I know, and he was awesome. Like I'm not joking, Fonzie. Like when he was giving you that induction, you got that ovation. I got choked up a little bit. It was cool to see. So
Now, I've been in what's the most famous arena on the planet? Madison Square Gardens. I've been to Tokyo Dome. I've been here. I've been all over the freaking world in all these big arenas, and I really got um, nervous. Uh, Usually I don't get nervous, but I got nervous when I went up there and then my speech and all that. I got choked up. I didn't know what to say, and I was stumbling. My God, it was terrible, but somehow I pulled it off. But uh, I was more nervous about it, doing my acceptance speech and than walking through the curtains at Madison Square.
how about that? Wow. But I mean, to that point, Fonzie, it was so great to see the reception you got, and you can tell you're loved. You're very loved in the business. So um it's great stuff. Great stuff.
Well, I've been lucky. I've been lucky. I worked hard. I worked hard all my life, and take my bumps and bruises like everybody else. But um, and that was well liked. So I had to do something right.
Absolutely, 100%. Um, Ken adds, so who asked the question? He also said, "I'm another Buffalo guy that goes to the Empire State Wrestling shows." He said
Oh,
it was just
nice.
he said it was just a question, but I will also buy you Louis if you come up here. Better come hungry, Fonzie, because him
Hey,
and
hey, thanks, Ken. Thanks, boys.
him and Brian will buy you both some. So you already have a faction in Buffalo ready for you there, Fonzie.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And of course, the buffalo wings. You know what I mean? But
Oh my gosh.
I really dig the Coney Island type hot dogs, man, with a little mustard and onions on them, little pepper on it. My goodness, one of my favorite meals. If I had a choice, I could eat a steak anywhere.
Yeah.
And get a good.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong, I love a good steak, but I would rather go to Buffalo and eat at Lou's a damn foot long Coney Island hot dog with mustard and onions.
Dang it, you're making me hungry, Fonzie. I need a
Right? I love them.
I
We
need
got a place down here in Brooksville, about 28 miles from my house. I try to go every once in a while and get them, man. I love them.
Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, you're making me hungry right now.
Oh, when you come down, Dominic, when you come down, spend a couple of days at my villa. I told you earlier what my wife and I want to host you.
Yeah.
We'll go to the it's called damn, what is it called? But anyway, the Coney Island hot dog place. We'll make sure we go there.
I'm game for it. I'm game for it.
And the Cuban food.
Hell, oh my gosh, yeah. You got me hooked, Fonzie. You got me ready to roll. Man. So people are asking Fonzie. I got to throw it out here. Matthew Rodriguez asked it. Somebody else, Triple E, I believe, who's a fan of the RVD show, asked it. Let's see if I can find his question here. Yes, here it is, straight out. Is Fonz gonna be at NXT? That's happening tomorrow. I'm gonna be there. I'll be there in Philly.
No, unfortunately, I'm not going to be there. Dominic is, so I'm going to be in working for a company, CCW's, one of the hottest companies in the Southeast. They run 4 times a month all in Florida area. I've been with them 4 years. I manage their 2 champions. In fact, here. This is their belt. We defended it last week in Miami, and this is their tag team. I manage the tag team champs.
Wow, look at that.
Yep, nice belt, CCW.
Who are the champs,
Uh,
Fonzie? Who are the champs of that promotion?
Ariel Levy,
Okay.
who's badass. He's from Chile. Uh, and he loves the wrestling business. Oh, he commentates, does the Spanish commentating for AEW.
Really?
Yes, he's got a contract. He just signed a contract with them. He's a fantastic. He's from Chile. He's He's a dancer. He was Dancing with the Stars. He's was on soap operas. He did this. He did that. He's a big star in Chile, but he chose to come to the United States and become a professional wrestler, and that's what he did. And he's fantastic. He's fantastic. And his partner uh, is the Brazilian giant Nelio, who's from Brazil. He's really badass, and they make a great team. He's a big guy like Bam Bam Bigelow was, and he wears a hood like a gimmick hood. Let's see if I can find a picture of him while we're talking. Uh, let's see. I got one right here. Let me bring it over.
All right.
Here's a picture.
Look at that. Here, I'll put you up.
That's his gimmick. Can you see it? Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. Bill Alfonso
Yeah.
Vinicius. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, he's
Very
badass.
Vader. Very Vader.
Yeah, Vaderish, and he can work his ass off. He's badass.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Somebody else who is badass is Matthew Justice. I know this weekend
Oh yes.
he'll be in Chicago for MLW, Lucha Apocalypto. I think he's in a Falls Count Anywhere match for the Openweight Championship against Bad Dude Tito, who's also a bad dude. So that should be a great matchup too.
I met Matthew Justice and John Thorne, this company out of Cleveland, AIW. John Thorne. They brought me in 4 years ago, right before the virus. I get a phone call and say, "Hey man, John Thorne, I have a company, AIW in Cleveland. We'd like to bring you in for a show or two." I said, "Okay." So I ended up signing a contract with them, and I've been going in and out of Cleveland for the last 4 years. And they had me manage Matthew Justice, who is badass. He's hardcore too, really hardcore type wrestling. So AIW is kind of a hardcore ECW spinoff type deal. And he were also Matthew Justice also works for MLW. We did what's the other company that's hardcore? GCW or something?
GCW, yep, GCW.
Yeah, we did a couple shows with them, and I managed him. Tim, I don't know why I brought this backpack up, but
it's a great backpack though.
No, there was a reason, something with Matthew Justice, but anyway, yeah, Matthew's a dear friend of mine and can go, boy. He's badass, man. He does all those high fucking big moves, jumps off of buildings and through tables and all that kind of stuff. He's badass. Makes me look like a movie star, Daddy.
We'll have to try to get him on the show for sure. I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can have any of my guys on the show, from Ariel Levy to my Brazilian Giant to Matthew Justice. Any guys I work with would be more than happy to come on my show.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, that'd be great stuff. That'd be great stuff.
I got pictures of Matthew Justice. I just can't find one right now. But
yeah. Well, it'll be cool to see him this weekend in Chicago. I know he's great.
Yeah, Dominic, introduce yourself to him and say you're my boy, and and say Fonzie put you over big time. We do a podcast together, and so on and so on. Yeah, really cool guy.
He's awesome. I got to meet him a couple times. Actually, in Philly, I met him. Working behind the scenes in MLW and stuff like that. So I saw him do some cut scenes. I saw him have a match, like fell into a dumpster. Did some crazy spots there. So
yeah, he does that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think he's nuts. I say, brother, take it easy, man. Don't jump off of that U-Haul and go through 3 tables and all that stuff. I said, you'd be like Sabu, you won't be able to walk in. He says, I'll cross that bridge when it comes. But there he goes to a fucking table,
Yeah, that's the thing, is like you see all these guys and it's like I just like the personality of Matthew Justice and the physical presence and the charisma he kind of gives off. I like that. It's like
he's got something about him, yeah.
There's something about him, and he doesn't necessarily need to do all that stuff where it's just like,
right, exactly. But he does, and that's why he's over. That's why people love him. Now if he didn't do that kind of stuff, they say, wow, why didn't he go through a table or something,
Yeah. It's like, all that stuff is not needed. He's just got a good look, and I think he fits that realm of you, Sabu, RVD.
I got better pictures, but here he is right here.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, he's the man. I love Matthew Justice. Yeah, that's the whole crew.
Giant, There's Ariel Levy, Sabu, of course, RBD. Beulah, I beat her ass.
Yes, it did. We did. We got to make an episode of that match. We got to definitely talk about it.
Okay.
That's what we got. That's got
Okay.
to be on the list for sure. So, um, yeah, I like it. We obviously we could talk about Dusty all the time. So, I'm trying to think. We'll close it out with just a couple of questions I have. Ooh, look at that. Oh man, Terry Funk's the man. Doctor Death. Can't beat that. Look at that crew. Is that from? Where is that at, Fonzie? Do you know where?
That's probably in ECW.
ECW. Okay. Okay. Man, that's a great photo. That's a great photo.
Yeah. And I've been so fortunate, Dominic, to have worked with all these great guys and worked for all the major companies and been all over the world and in main events and managing and refereeing. My goodness, what a break I had being a, they say, oh, being in the right place at the right time, but you got to have the talent too.
Yes,
You can be in the right place and not have the talent, or you never work again.
absolutely. There's the matter of circumstance, luck, if you want to call it, God's grace, whatever it is that you're put in a position. But then it's kind of like, hey, you have to show that you're capable and that you can fit the bill. You're reliable, that you're passionate, and that
Exactly.
you have to show all that stuff. The presentation might be there, that might arrive, so the circumstance might happen, but you got to make it happen for yourself too in a lot of ways. And you've definitely done
Exactly.
that.
Exactly.
Well, we'll close it out with this question regarding Dusty, and we'll always continue with Dusty. So,
Okay.
um, but what do you think, Dusty overall? Working with him as from just strictly like a booking perspective and his mindset and philosophy on that. What did you think of his booking mentality and
He
everything?
was ahead of his time.
Hmm.
He was right in the transition from old school, uh, because a lot of the old school guys didn't agree with Dusty to having these big last tango in Tampa, we sold out half of the football stadium. The football stadium holds 60,000 people. They let us use half of it. So we had 30,000 people at a show that's unheard of. My God. Uh, all the different angles and stuff. Dusty was ahead of his time, a great booker. Um, and he was just a gem to work for. But the old timers like Eddie Graham didn't understand that the wrestling progresses and changes. Look what it's come from now. Eddie Graham would be rolling over in his grave right now if he knew what we were doing. You
Yeah.
know.
Hmm.
Now business has changed, and WWF, all that stuff is crazy. But Dusty was ahead of his time and a great booker. A lot of guys didn't agree with some of the stuff, but he proved himself. He proved himself, and he was right. He
Right.
was right.
And you think about like the stars he was getting ready to position, somebody like Magnum TA, who was like really built up big time to like be the next big champion and everything like that. And unfortunately, the car accident happened and
Right.
put that to an end. But then Magnum mentioned how that opened the door for somebody like Sting to come in and grow and become a huge star that he became too. So, uh, you know, uh, Dusty was such a smart guy, and you see how much influence he had. Not only did he, like you said, you saw him as a kid, even as a heel, but you think about like Ric Flair, like loved Dusty Rhodes starting off. I know my favorite, Scott Hall, loved Dusty Rhodes like big time, and
All
like
those guys that were broken in Florida, from Terry Allen, we
yeah,
were working with Magnum TA in Florida, Lex Luger, Scott Hall. Uh, let's see, I got a picture of Scott Hall choke slamming Paul Heyman.
I
Paul
love
Heyman's a
that.
fucking young kid. I think I've shown you the picture before. It's around here somewhere.
I
But
might need to get a copy of that one, Fonzie, because that's a great one. That's great.
oh yeah, I was young, and so Paul Heyman comes up to me. He came down to Florida with a wrestler named Tombstone,
Hmm.
and back in the territory days, you'd come down and you would wrestle for 6 months in the state and then go to the next territory. You wrestle here in Florida, then you go to Bill Watts' territory for 6 months, and you go to Mid Atlantic for 6 months. So Paul Heyman was trying to break into the business, and he came down with Tombstone. So Tombstone was leaving, and I was an assistant booker in the state of Florida for a while. Bob Roode was the booker, and I was assistant booker. And Paul Heyman comes up to me and says, "Hey Fonzie, Tombstone's leaving." And he says, "You think it'd be possible if I came to the ring and managed Tombstone on his last 2 weeks?" And Tombstone was working with Scott Hall. And I said, "Well," he said, "you got a pair of Levi's on with a old pair of Converse and a T-shirt." I says, "Do you have? Can you buy a suit? Can you got to look like a manager. You just can't go out there." He said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." So I gave him a break and let him come to the ring and manage Tombstone for the last 2 weeks of Tombstone's was finishing up and then going to Mid Atlantic. And the finish was Scott Hall choke slams Paul Heyman. And here is the picture of a young Paul Heyman and a young Fonzie.
Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's awesome, Fonzie. That's
So he went out and bought a suit and didn't know he was going to be my boss in ECW, you know.
how about that? Yeah, what a moment that is. Like a foretelling or a foreshadowing right there.
Right? So that's
That's
a great classic picture. I love Paul Heyman.
that's awesome.
I love Paul Heyman. Yeah.
Man, he's the man. I hope one day I get to interview him. I think he would be a great interview to have.
Yeah, I can help you out with that maybe one day. If I run across them, I still try to stay in contact with all my friends. If I haven't seen Paul for a while, we do a double knockout at the airport or something. Uh, but I'm sure I can get a hold of him.
He's such a genius for the business, and you
Oh my God, yeah.
think about how many people he's like influenced, and what he's doing today with today's talent and stuff like that. It's just it's remarkable, and man, it's just like you would love to see him. He just continues to add to the business and grow it, and WWE is really benefiting from his talents and stuff. So it's pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah, yeah. He's right up there. He's getting paid well too. He deserves to get paid well.
Fonzie, if you had to guess, how many people do you think are tuning in live right now?
Excuse me.
If you had to guess, how many people do you think are tuning in live right now
For this show right
for
now,
our show right now?
300.
A little higher than that.
Really?
Yes. You want to hear?
Uh, am I going to be surprised?
You're going to be surprised.
Pleasantly surprised?
Pleasantly surprised.
All right. Hey, for all you people that tuned in and watching my stuff and listening to my stories, this is just the beginning. We do this on a almost bi-weekly
Bi-weekly basis we try to. Yep.
bi-weekly, and we shut down because we had big hurricanes down here and all that stuff, and but we're getting back on track, and I have 45 years of stories, and you could ask me about anybody you want. I've worked with everybody, including Bruiser Brody. This is a famous match. Lex Luger and Bruiser Brody, 1981 or 82, at Fort Lauderdale at the War Memorial, and there's a controversial finish over, and that we talk about that. We talk about all kind of stuff, man. Um, I've worked with just about everybody you can possibly think of in the business, from Baron Van Raschke to Bobo Brazil to Bobby Shane to, you know, uh, I just got awarded um, the Gary Hart Award,
Look at that.
Gary Hart Award.
What an award to get to. Gary Hart was the man.
Right, Gary Hart.
Mm,
Oh my God,
man.
yeah. Uh, I work with so many talented people from WWF and did WrestleMania 9, Caesar's Palace,
Look at that.
Big Stars, Japanese. I've been to Japan multiple times. One of my favorite cities on the planet is Tokyo. Get to work with RVD and Sabu. I had a great run in ECW. Been in all kind of magazines. There's Championship Pot
Look
Smokers
at
with
that.
High
Nice.
Times magazine. With Van Dam, of course. There's my boy Taz, who's a big commentator at AEW. There's my boy Andre the Giant.
I
Been in
love it.
multiple video games. Just the list goes on and on, man.
Heck
So
yeah.
I hope I can entertain you guys.
100%.
Yes, and hey, for the wrestling fan or the people who love wrestling like I do and like you do, Dominic,
Yeah.
this is a perfect time for you guys to hear old story because hey, we're dying out. I'm
Right.
the I'm the last in our era. You know, I broke in with it was Dusty and them and then Murdoch. Then it was the Barry Windhams and all that. That's why I come in. I'm Barry Windham's era. You know, the Shawn Michaels, Barry Windham, and Steve Hearn and all those guys. Uh, so man, I got to see. I just said I got to work with Bobo Brazil. You
Yeah.
know, these guys were finishing up the Sheiks, Samu's uncle. They were finishing up their career, and I was just starting. So uh, my God, now I'm finishing my career. Finishing my career, I'm 67 years old, and still I work every. If I want to, I can work every fucking weekend if I want to, and I do. I don't like to be home sitting around and retired. My little place is paid for. I got a beautiful, tall, blonde Hungarian wife who says, "Go, Fonzie, go." You know, uh, she's a big. She's not a big wrestling fan, but I come home last year. I broke 3 ribs and broke my nose
Oh
and
my
got
gosh.
stitches. I got like 30 something stitches well this year. 3 ribs, broken nose, multiple stitches. My back hurts. My foot still hurts. Where Andre the Giant stepped on it in 1981.
You
You
still got
know,
pretzel in your shoulder from the Sheik?
oh my God, the Sheik. That's why Sabu and I get along so good because I told him when I first met Sabu, I told him the Sheik story where it was my first time getting. I got paid $90. It was in Lubbock, Texas. It was the Sheik and Terry Funk in a chain match. And the Sheik ended up stabbing me with pulls out a pencil and he was stabbed me in the arm and I still got the lead mark in my arm. Let's see if we can find it. It's somewhere right in
Oh,
there.
did I see it? I might have saw it. I see it. I think I see it somewhere. Maybe on
Yeah,
the
it's a
post on the
little
right.
like a tattoo, but it's
Yeah,
lead.
right.
You know, so I got to work with all these greats: Eddie Graham, my God, Bobby Shane. The list goes on and on. I'm going to make a list, and one day I'm going to read it off. I'm going to name as many guys: Baron Brandrowski. Oh my God, all these guys.
Man, that's
Uh,
an well, yeah. Baron von Roski was awesome. Oh man,
Yeah.
that's
Abdullah the Butcher, the Fabulous Moolah, the Midgets. My God. The list goes on and on.
my goodness. You can't beat that. Can't.
Yeah, I covered multiple generations. I was lucky as hell. Uh, let's see. Rick Rude is, my era.
Oh man, yeah. Heck yeah. Look at that. All right.
The sun's hitting it wrong. Uh, I got so many cool pictures. There's Brian Pillman getting slamming Flair off the top rope. Pretty cool. Uh, Anyway, I'm going to make a list one day and we'll go over it. So, hey, all the guys that are tuning in tonight, thank you so much for listening to my stories. And I just got more. You guys got questions? Get a hold of Dominic and lay out the questions. Say, hey, Fonzie, what were you doing in 1983? And I said, well, I was refereeing the Miami Beach Convention Center. Harley race against Dusty in the main event for the title. And here's the title right here.
Look at
Here's
that.
the fact Harley Race gave me. This is a replica of the belt. And here's Harley Race right here, who gave me this belt. Somebody made it for him.
Look at that.
Right there.
Look at that. That's a yeah. That's great. To have. What a tie that is to have. Harley Race gave you
Oh,
that title, and then yeah, you could keep that in your collection.
yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll get rid of that for $1 million. Well, maybe $1 million. I
No,
don't
maybe a million
know.
might be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah. And I got all kind of cool merchandise, mostly ECW merchandise,
Mhm.
like these cool jackets and
That's
stuff
awesome.
like that. The backpacks are really cool. Get a
Backpacks are
good deal
badass.
on them, and all quality wear. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
mind
Fonzie
no
doesn't.
Walmart or Kmart or bullshit. Eddie Bowers, Nike. You know, uh, P Diddy Combs, who's in
Yeah,
trouble
right.
right now. You know, but all nice quality stuff, man. And I'm super proud. To, offer stuff like that for you guys, and it's relatively inexpensive. You know what I mean? And people love it. People like the ECW still has a cult like following. You know,
Absolutely.
I started in May, somewhere in 1995. Appointment brought me in. I was supposed to come in for 4 weeks and get choke slammed by 911, and that was it. Well, but my gimmick got over, and he decided to turn me into a manager and put me with Taz.
There you
And
go.
we clicked. Taz had 5 gimmicks before we got together. He was Monkey Boy. He was this. He was Tasmania. He was this and that. Then when it became Taz, he got over. Not because they put us together. I was a little instrumental in helping him. But when Taz became himself, Taz is kind of an asshole type guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, Not to me, he was a sweetheart, but
Yeah.
his gimmick, you know, Bam Bam Bigelow is one of my favorite big men. Oh, One Man Gang, who I talk to all the time. And the famous match where I beat the fuck out of Beulah and almost bled to death, that's pretty fucking cool,
That's
man.
pretty fucking
We
cool.
still talk about that today.
Yeah.
That, boy versus girl, two non-wrestlers. And if you ask Paul Heyman, hey, Paul Heyman, there was thousands of matches in ECW. Name one of your favorite matches of all time in ECW. And I guarantee you, he's going to say Fonzie Beulah was one of my top 3 favorite matches.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But Barry Windham and Ric Flair, TV. My God, I got some good matches that are under my belt.
Hey, Fonzie, before I forget too, so there's a
Okay.
wrestler up and coming. His name, it's in the Pittsburgh area. His name is Kanan Christopher, and he's a really good young talent. Didn't grow up watching wrestling. He didn't grow up watching wrestling or anything like that.
Sometimes
But
that's the best kind.
yeah, and he was saying, and like, but he's already really smart to the business. I got to hang out with him this weekend and stuff like that, and I was like, you know what, you remind me of a Barry Windham, and
Really?
I was like, you should watch some Barry Windham stuff, and he was like, yeah, yeah. He was like, I will definitely watch Barry Windham, and I wanted to give him some suggestions of matches to watch with Barry Windham. What would you suggest for him to watch if I were to give him some information?
Barry Windham, Kurt Hennig. Watch Kurt Hennig matches. Of course, watch Bret Hart matches. Study those matches. Guys that can work their ass off and truly are legendary like Barry. I think Barry is one of the premier workers in this business. I mean, and he was over in Florida when Florida Championship Wrestling. Man, he was the biggest baby face we had.
Yeah.
Fucking women were throwing their underwear in the ring for this kid, and he can work his ass off, man. Uh,
So you would recommend a Barry Windham versus anybody in particular?
anybody,
Right,
yeah.
that's what Tommy
Eh,
Dreamer told him too.
Yeah,
That's what Tommy Dreamer.
anybody. Barry Windham, Kurt Hennig. Watch Kurt Hennig matches. Of course, watch the Bret Hart matches. Those are the
Mhm.
top 3. If he watches 10 of those matches and studies the matches and tries to put put himself in their minds,
Yeah,
uh, and watches matches. Guys get out there and they have no rhyme, no reason why the fuck they're doing this. You're telling a freaking story, you know what I mean? And
right, exactly.
that's a lost form. That's a lost art, and it's not all high spots. What Bret Hart is a perfect example. If you watch him, he does stuff for a reason. You
Yes,
know,
exactly. He definitely does, and that's what he was talking about today too. When I got to speak with him.
Yeah, and a lot of guys can't work in this business. Like Giant Gonzalez wasn't the only reason he got over a little bit. He was only in the business for 3 or 4 years because of his size. He's
Yeah,
the largest athlete on the planet. Nobody bigger than him on the planet at that time. But he really couldn't work. But he didn't have to be a 5-star wrestler. His size got him over. They built him as 8 foot. He was really 7'7". But
right.
they built him as 8 foot. But
Yeah, why not at that point though?
right,
Right.
right. But he couldn't work a lick.
Yeah, yeah, but he's a good presence and all that stuff.
Exactly. And, yeah.
We'll close it out with this question. Anthony Manzano has been asking a few questions, and I'll pick one of them and see what you have to say about it. Let's see.
Yeah, don't forget, guys. I got all these ECW. I just got a bunch of ECW merchandise, jackets, and the backpacks are badass, man. They're
Absolutely.
relatively inexpensive too.
Guys, if you do want to get a jacket or a backpack or anything like that, or have an inquiry about it, DM me on Twitter. Go to at Dominic DeAngelo and send me a DM, and I can get you set up with Fonzie, and he can get a jacket, a hoodie, those sweet backpacks, anything that you want, and I can help facilitate that for
And
you.
I always throw bonuses in there. I want to
He
get the
does.
jacket. And I'm not putting the jackets sell themselves. You
Yeah,
know,
sure.
I take them to a show and I sell one or two every show. People love them. And I'm
Yeah.
not trying to push them down anybody's throat, but and I'm very generous. I throw in bonuses. Like I'll throw in a bunch of 8x10s, 4 or 5 8x10s all signed. I'll throw in all my wrestling cards. Uh, get all kind of stuff that I throw in. Occasionally, I throw in a whistle or something. But all right, Daddy, let's get the last question and wrap this up.
Yeah, we'll get the last question in here. Let me see. This is a good one here. I'll ask this one. Anthony Manzano asked, Bill, how was it working with the Wild Samoans and Umaga? Did you get to work with Umaga as well,
I got
Bill?
to work with so many Samoans, and usually they are 5 star. I can't recall one Samoan that was the shits.
You're right.
Not one, not
Yeah.
one. The two
Hmm.
that just passed away, the two big guys are famous. Yeah,
Papa and Sika.
I got to work with those guys. I got to work with, of course, Rodney. Yokozuna, and we went on the 7 city, 5 country tour with Hulk Hogan. I could work his ass off. Uh, all the way to Coco Samoa back in the day, and oh my goodness, yeah, it was just fabulous. And I worked with so many stars, not only the Samoans, the girls like Fabulous Moolah. My God, uh, boy, I was blessed to be touched by all these guys, man. I go through multiple generations. I may be the luckiest guy in the business.
Dang. And you've been everywhere, too. That's the neat thing. You're like the Kevin Bacon of wrestling. You know how they do the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon? Where it's like,
Yes, I
yeah,
love the Kevin Bacon.
you're the Kevin Bacon of wrestling, where it's like you can connect any actor to Kevin Bacon. Well, you can connect any wrestler to Bill Alfonso.
I just been around a long time. That's my claim to fame is that I've been around a long time.
All right, Fonzie, I'll give you one more chance to guess how many people are tuning in live before I tell you.
I guessed 200
Yeah.
already. That's the low guess because you told me Van Damme had 5,000 the other day.
Yep.
Uh, did we break four figures?
Oh yeah, we did. We
Really?
we
Uh,
have almost
70,
we almost
1,700.
we have 6,900 tuning in right now. So almost
Wait a
7,000
minute.
people.
Did you say 6,900 people?
Yep.
Wow, that's a blessing. Thank you, everybody. That's
Yeah.
very cool. I know I jumped from this subject to that subject, but I'm hyper. I'm glad to be on. And now you guys, hey, don't wrap me up. I can talk all night long, Daddy. As long as I got 7,000 people, baby, don't
How
wrap
about
me
that?
up.
Isn't that crazy?
Ah, Daddy. That's crazy.
It
That's
is. It
that's
is.
crazy in a good way, man. I hope I'm entertaining. Can you see that?
Absolutely. This is very unique. I have to recommend, guys, if so this will be on the RVD podcast feed. I'm going to start posting these again on the podcast feed. I haven't been very good at it, but I will do it. I will continue that. But this is a very visual show, so if you guys want to tune in, you can go to rvdtv.com and catch the full episodes there. Fonzie, what I'm thinking of doing too is making
Yes.
your own YouTube channel. I think I might start trying to do that, and we can get some content up there and try to get that monetized and get some stuff going out on that too. So I think that might be a good idea. So
All right, let's get let's don't wrap up yet. Let's give him 5 more minutes. Let's give something away.
oh, you want to give something away?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So we gotta have a question, or we gotta have something, a little contest right now. Think of in your head what kind of contest we can have, and we're gonna give away. Let's see, a jacket, a backpack, an action figure, 8x10. What the fuck can we give away? Uh, Fonzie hat. Hmm. Uh, think of a little thing, and I'll find something to give away while you think of a little
Okay,
contest,
let me think here.
or
So
the like the 15th caller that can. Let's see.
if
Huh.
you guys, let's see this. Okay, I want to. So whoever asks a question, somebody starting off now, starting now. If you ask a question, uh, the first people that ask the first five people that ask a question, I'll pick the best one. I'll pick the best one, whatever I think is the best one, and then we'll ask Fonzie that. Not only that, but you'll be the contest winner. How's that sound? So, five questions we need to have come in. If you ask it on rvdtv.com, you ask it on One True Sport, we'll get a
We're gonna
little
have a
giveaway.
question and a winner tonight, and this will go. I already got the prize.
He's
Already
already
got
got
the
the prize
giveaway.
going. He's got
It
something in mind.
is a autographed action figure with the spike. Let me get a good picture of
Get a
this.
good shot of it. Oh my gosh! Look at that. The Sabu. It's Sabu.
Signed, signed,
Whoa.
and there's a spike right here that he used that night.
No way. Wow, guys. Holy smokes. I
So
want
that's
that
pretty
thing.
fucking cool. Now, this was something that Sabu autographed and gave to me because I asked him for it. We were at I think he gave it to me in Las Vegas as a gift for being in the Las Vegas Hall of Fame thing. So I can get another one for me, but I will give this away uncensored. I will give this away tonight, right now, within the next 10 minutes. We're going to be giving this away, and I'll get it mailed out. Send your address to Dominic, and we will get it out to you, and you'll have it by the end of the week.
All right. Heck, there
So
you
I'm
go.
feeling generous. I'm feeling generous, and
There you
you
go.
know, and the next um podcast that we do, if I get anywhere, if I get all you fans back, the guys that are watching tonight, I'll give away a jacket as long as you don't live in Australia because it costs
Yeah, that's
three
we live
hundred
in Austin.
dollars. We had one kid who won a contest, and here's his package right here. He won
Yep.
a contest, and I gave away a jacket. There's eight by tens. There's basically my all my cards and stuff, all signed in Australia. But it's fucking cost $300 to
300
send.
bucks to ship.
It costs $300 to send this to Australia. I said, "Are you sure?" The lady said, "Oh yeah, it's $300."
That's just
So
crazy.
hopefully you guys are in the United States. But if not, I don't matter. The money's a little bit of an issue, especially if I'm giving stuff away.
Right, right.
You're buying something that's a little different.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, guys, get your questions in. First people to ask five questions will automatically be entered, and then I'll pick the best question, and we can
Yeah, and
facilitate.
we're doing this right now. We're gonna be
We're
giving
doing it right
announce a
now. So
winner.
get ask a question. If I like it, I will ask Fonzie that, and you will be the winner. You will be the winner. So
Yeah, man, it's
yeah,
pretty cool. I don't know what the value of this is, but it's a signed Sabu action figure. There's not a lot of them out there, you
yep.
know.
There's not definitely isn't.
And got the fucking golden spike, Daddy.
Yep. We got two questions in right now. So three more. Whoever if the three more people that ask will you'll be entered, and I will make my decision, and then we will give something away, and Fonzie will answer your question too. Hey, the
Yeah,
wrestling buddies.
and maybe next week we'll give away a Fonzie fluffer or whatever you want to call him. He's got a whistle and got a
Look at that.
Nike belt on him. All signed, everything's cool. And eventually we're going to give away another jacket. I just gave away a jacket. So uh, you're going to love the jackets.
The
You guys
jacket.
are going to love the jackets. I sent one to Long Island, New York last week. A guy a wrestling enthusiastic bought a jacket from me, and I sent it to him. It was like a jean type jacket like this one,
Denim, yeah, yeah.
and he loved it, and he wore it in a bar, and he says people were flipping out, not so outrageous they were going crazy, but he said people were coming up to him and said, "Oh, I love the ECW, oh my god, ECW." So he was the talk of the bar. It was like a neighborhood bar, People couldn't get
Man.
over. Where do I get one of those? You
Yeah.
know, so they're well liked and all 5-star stuff. You know, no bullshit Kmart stuff. It's all Eddie Bauer or something, Nike. All good shit.
All good shit. All good. All right, 3 questions in. I'll give a couple more minutes for people to get to two more different guys or gals asking questions, and we'll pick a. I'll pick a winner here. But I like the 3 we already have of questions. But if somebody chimes in right here, right now, you can win an autographed Sabu figure with the spike he used that very night in the wrestling match. So get ready, guys. Okay, we
And
got
the
4 more.
spike is signed. The spike is
It's
signed.
spiked and signed, guys. The figure is spiked and signed by Sabu. So
Yep. Here
that's
it
a one of
is.
a kind thing. We got one more question. Whoever asks one more, you're automatically entered, and the 5 entries will be there.
And
So
this is going out tomorrow.
it's
I
going out
will mail
tomorrow. Let's
this
send it right
out
off the bat.
tomorrow. You're gonna
Yep.
have to hang on and give Dominic your address and all that, and I will. And plus, I'm gonna give you. I have 7 of these classic cars. When I was refereeing, there's Fonz. Can you see him?
Yes, I can.
Okay, there's
Yeah.
Fonzie and Andre the Giant. There's Rick Rude and Fonzie. There's Dusty and Fonzie. There's Ric Flair getting slammed off the top rope by Brian Pillman.
Hell yeah.
There's Flair and Fujinami at Tokyo Dome, 65,000 people. You're gonna get all these cards, and you get this card, uh, and a few 8x10s, all
Look at that.
signed.
He's got your bases covered, guys. So one more question. That's all it is. Whoever enters.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a good
So
question, I
it's
might
not
pick
that
it.
I'm feeling generous tonight, but it's the right thing to do. Hey, you guys are listening to me talk smack, and I'm not, being generous. And just this is the right thing to do is to give something away.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like it. I like
Make
it,
me feel
Fonzie.
good, and I'm not trying to buy my way into wrestling heaven.
That's it. No. That's it. He's just being generous. Fonzie was generous at Cauliflower Alley. He donated 3 ECW titles that were autographed by him, Sabu, RVD, I believe the Dudleys too, right?
Yep,
So it was
yep. It
really,
was
really
one of
cool.
these. It was one of these.
Man, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. Man, that's badass. All right, yeah, one more question. I'll give it. Let's see. I'll give it 2 more minutes. If you ask a question, you're automatically entered.
Hey,
And
did you guys see me on TikTok with I did something with some kid
whoa, that's
does
what I wanted to ask you
the
about.
Riz
Okay,
face, the Riz face, and I went on there and for some reason they loved me, the wrestler loved me, and he kept reposting. We got over 15 million likes or views or something on TikTok.
is that the Big Boom AJ from the?
Yes, yep, the
Yes,
big boom and the
dude.
Riz does the Riz face.
I love.
I'll send you the pro. I'll send you the little segment I
Send
did
me the
with him.
promo, Fonzie. I'm gonna watch it because you know what? I I only heard. I didn't hear about them till they got the AEW thing, and so
Yeah,
Big Boom is wrestling QT Marshall at 0 Hour in
yeah.
Newark, New Jersey.
You know why they're using him? Because they're getting millions and millions of views, not because he's a
That's it.
5-star wrestler. Because they're taking advantage of the Riz and
Yeah, and
his, the big boom.
he was just on Jimmy Kimmel too. I know.
Yes,
And
yeah,
uh-huh. And it's
yeah,
like I liked it. They seem it's just like a fun kind of thing. The really funny it's the 2 kids and him, Big Justice and the
yeah.
Rizzler.
He's
And
a little fat kid. God bless him. He's a little fat kid who likes to eat or something because he's
yeah,
fat. He does a little wrist face and does that. I didn't know who the fuck he was.
yeah, I don't
Uh,
either.
now I do.
You right? Right? All
Right.
right.
And for some reason they loved me and they keep posting and reposting and it's got over 15 million views.
Absolutely.
That's a
All right.
lot of views.
That's a lot of views. That's a lot of views. Hey, you know what else is a lot of views is 7,390. That's
Congratulations, Fonzie. That's really
yes.
good. I'm proud of you guys for tuning in, and I'm proud of myself for putting out something there that you guys enjoy listening to.
People are digging it, man. 7,400 we're at right now. All right.
I'll take it. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'm going to pick the question here. It's going to go to Mr. Buffalo himself. Ken
Oh,
Delman.
that's the
Ken
guy who's
Delman.
taking me to the Lou's hot dog place.
Yeah, taking you to the lose.
Okay.
So he says, if you didn't have wrestling, what profession would you have chosen if you didn't have wrestling?
I might have been a gynecologist because I like pussy.
There you go.
You know,
That's a good one.
being realistic because I would have to go to school for that. I was really smart all the way up through high school. Then I started smoking pot and all that, and got a little. Uh, I was a honor roll student and all that. And I started smoking pot, and you know that's not good for a young brain to smoke pot when you're 15, 16 years old.
Sure.
Uh, 21 is a little different, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I've been in the business my whole life. I've never had another job. I lucked my way into the business, stuck my foot in there, and uh, but something to do sports or fishing. Might have been a fishing guide or something because we live in Tampa. That was surrounded by water, golf, and all that. I love fishing. I'm a good fisherman. I'm good at everything I do to a certain extent. If I can't do it right, I tell these young guys, the wrestlers, they say, "Hey, Fonzie, would you watch my match? You got any pointers?" I say, "Well, yes, I'll watch a match and I'll critique it a little bit, but and I'll tell every one of them. I say, if you can't throw a good punch, don't throw it. If you can't throw a good drop kick, don't fucking do it. Do stuff you can do 100% and do really good." Because that one thing that you throw, if you throw a shitty punch and you have a good match, it takes away. Don't do it unless you can do a 5 star, you know? So I'm a good advice giver, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Man, that's awesome. Yeah. Don't be afraid to bend Fonzie's ear if you're around him, if you're a wrestler, a young
No,
or anything.
no, not at all. Not at
Man,
all.
because he can give you some good advice. He's been around all different types of talent, all different types of personalities, the good, the bad of it all, and so he's experienced a lot of it. So he
And I
can
love the business like you guys do. Anybody who's listening to me talk right now loves the wrestling business just like I do. I love it. It's been good to me and I'm paying it forward. I love the business just like you guys do. Oh,
yeah,
else you wouldn't be on the fucking podcast watching me talk, or else I wouldn't be doing a podcast,
right,
you
right.
know?
That's it, man. 7,500 Fonzie. We have 7,500.
Wow. Congratulations, Dominic. Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Ken, absolutely. Just get a hold of me. Like I said, give me your info at you can send me your DM me your info at Dominic DeAngelo via the DM, or you can email me at G, dpdangelo at gmail.com. So feel free to do either one of those, but send me your info and I'll pass it along to Fonzie and he'll get that figure out to man.
I'll
Signed
get it out
Saturday.
tomorrow. I'll get it
He'll
out
get it out
tomorrow.
tomorrow. So how
In
about that,
fact,
Ken?
let's see. I got to here. Look, I'm going to put it in this package right here. Here's how it's going to come. You see that? It's
Heck
going to come
yeah,
in this
look at
package
that.
right here.
You'll be ready to roll there, Ken.
Yep.
So good question. And guys, good questions all around. I appreciate Liam Evans chiming in. Clown 13420, Triple E, who's a RVD faithful guy. Everybody in here from Anthony to Brian, another Buffalo guy, Matthew Rodriguez. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, supporting the show, giving your thoughts and your support and everything like that. So very much appreciative. Fonzie, I'm very appreciative of you. And this is fun to be back. We got so much.
Yeah, we hit a home run tonight, right?
We did. We really did. It knocked it out of the park
Good.
right here.
I enjoyed
So,
myself. And I thank every one of you, all you 7,500 people who watched us tonight. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
absolutely. Thank you guys. Yeah. And Fonzie, thank you too. This has been great. And I'm excited to get back on track with it all. You know what? Before we close out, why don't we pick a date to do this again so we'll make an announcement or anything like that and promote it.
Okay. How about let's see this is bi-weekly, right?
Bi-weekly, yes. So it's bi-weekly. So 2 weeks from now would be November
You
4th.
know, the Tuesday worked out because there's nothing going on Tuesday. There's no Monday night football. There's no Thursday night football. We're not interrupting anything. So uh maybe that's why we got so many people tonight because people have nothing to watch.
That's it.
Oh,
And
we're competing with the world fucking
election.
event. We're competing with a worldwide event, and we're still drawing. Damn, we must be. Hell, Daddy, we're doing good.
How about that, huh? How about
All
that?
right.
Pretty damn good. So did you want to plan for Tuesday, November 19th?
Sounds good to me, Daddy.
Works for me. Tuesday, November 19th, we'll be back here. We'll plan again for 7:15 p.m. because Arn Anderson will go live before us typically. So
I love Double A.
The Double A. What a combo. What a 1-2 punch. You get Arn, then you
Right?
get Fonzie.
Yeah, please tell him I said hello.
I definitely will.
And we're going to give something away, too.
We'll give something. Wow, you know what? That's going to be a huge day is Tuesday because not only do you have Arn, you'll have Greg Gagne and Magnum TA because I go live with Greg Gagne and Magnum TA at 4 p.m. earlier in the day. So it's a triple. You will have a full-blown lineup on Tuesdays, live lineup.
Wow.
So
wow.
Sure to tune in, everybody. This would be great stuff. But this was great stuff, Fonzie. 7,600 and climbing we're at right now. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. And yes, we will see you next time here on Right Down the Middle with Fonzie Bill Alfonso. Good talking to you.
All right, Daddy. I'm going to blow my whistle and we're out of here. Dominic,
all right.
Am I going to stay in the line with you?
Say it with me. Right? Ready?
Okay. Right down the middle,
Right down
Daddy.
the middle.